Inside City Hall sits the mayor's office, the Common Council, and now, for the first time, the Office of Equity and Inclusion in the Department of Administration.
It has to be more than just a phrase. There has to be action behind it, and I'm definitely committed to that.
Nikki Purvis is the city's first Chief Equity Officer, a new position that will help with equity and inclusion across all city platforms.
We will be requiring all city departments to create a racial equity action plan for themselves, and for them to identify what some of those challenges and solutions that they have. So there's some accountability on all levels.
It's not just about accountability. The state says it's also about equal access.
It's all about how do we deliver services in a way that brings everybody along.
Joel Brennan oversees many state government programs and multi-billion-dollar budgets as Secretary of Administration. Inside Governor Evers' budget proposal is a cabinet-level Chief Equity Officer position to, quote, identify opportunities to advance equity in government operations.
It is an appointed position. It would sit amongst the cabinet members.
And what exactly would a Chief Equity Officer do?
This Chief Equity Officer, what their charge would be to look across the enterprise of state government to ensure that we're reflecting the Wisconsin's population in the way that we fill jobs, in the way that we prioritize the investments that we make.
Dr. Kenny Yarbrough likes the idea of a Chief Equity Officer with access to the governor.
How do you make sure the role becomes influential and purposeful to provide information to senior leadership?
It starts with the leader. It starts with the leader in charge.
Dr. Yarbrough is Associate Vice Chancellor of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, or EDI, at UW-Whitewater. He says the job comes with real-time responsibilities.
I'll give you a prime example on last summer when we were having a lot of racial tension in our country. I had to stay, keep him in the cabinet engaged of what I was seeing and what we needed to do to respond as a university. It's so imperative to have that voice on cabinet to be able to bring EDI issues because it's not just one field, it permeates the entire enterprise.